If preparing for a long distance hike is feeling overwhelming right now, it's probably not because you're doing anything wrong. It's because there is so much advice out there that it's easy to feel like you're missing something or that you need to do something more to be ready. What I've learned over the years is that people are generally not underprepared. They're just overthinking it. And in today's video, I want to simplify what matters so that preparation feels manageable. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. And thank you for being here today. Hey, today I just want to chat about what can feel overwhelming to a lot of backpackers and thru hikers is the planning and the preparation process. There's a reason why we feel overwhelmed with it. There's a reason why it can feel challenging, but I want to share some tips with you so that the preparation and the planning becomes one of the more enjoyable parts of the whole process. So why does it feel unmanageable at times? One of the areas here is actually a big blessing for us, but can be a curse, and that is just the availability of so much information, so much advice, so much data. We have so much of that now online, on YouTube videos, on blogs, Facebook pages, Reddit forums. It's everywhere. If you want to know something about a trail, you're going to see and hear 1,000 different people's perspectives on that. So because the information is so vast and so broad, it can feel overwhelming. Oh my God! I think on top of that, some of the information that we hear is very conflicting. You have some people saying one thing and some people saying the exact opposite. An example of that might be in footwear. Some people might say use zero drop minimalist shoes so that your feet become strong. Others may feel like, no, I need full, hiking boots. And I need that ankle support. And so you're going to hear this conflicting information back and forth. What is right for me? And as a part of that, you might feel then like you're underprepared or that you're behind in your planning. You're going to have, there's a lot of information out there. A lot of that information is going to be conflicting. And when people talk about extremes, it feels like we're behind. Okay, so the first thing that's going to help us here is a bit of a reframe. Preparation isn't about eliminating problems. It's about reducing unknowns so that that uncertainty feels more manageable. Put yourself in this situation. Maybe you've been there before. I know I have. In preparing for a long trip, you're thinking about every single piece of gear and how it's going to work. And then you start thinking about scenarios. Well, if I bring a 40-degree quilt, but what if it gets too cold? Do I need to bring the 20-degree quilt instead? Or I'll bring the 40, but then I'm going to grab all these other layers of clothing to help just in case it's cold. It might be, it might not be. And then you start thinking about bigger gear like a tent. Well, is a trekking pole tent going to be fine? But what if there's a storm? What if I find myself maybe up above tree line? Do I need to bring a tent that has poles that can be set up that's semi-freestanding or fully freestanding? And the list goes on and on and on for every for every scenario that you can think of that might happen during your hike. The reframe here is instead of thinking through all these scenarios, you need to focus on what is within your sphere of influence and what you control. And that is creating systems in your gear that you can trust. So we'll look at these systems. You've got sleep system, you've got a shelter system, you've got water or food systems. So from a sleep system, there's a sleeping pad. Typically, there is some kind of a quilt or a sleeping bag. There's probably some type of a pillow, and then there's going to be clothing that you use. That's a system that should work together to help you. If you know the temperature range of where you're going to be hiking, you can then look confidently at the gear to say, will this work? You don't need to think through every single scenario. Trust the system that you've built. A good sleeping pad, a good quilt or a sleeping bag, and a pillow, and you'll be okay. You don't need all the other gear that's going to weigh your bag down. Focus on what you can control, which is gear that should expand or should be okay for the majority of what you're going to be doing. Here, the tip is focus on systems that work for you and the key systems that we have in our kits, primarily being shelter, sleep, and food and water. If you can create a system where all of those elements and all that gear works together, you will feel a lot better about planning and preparing than thinking about each and every scenario and how do I prepare for all of those different things that could happen. Confidence doesn't come from having the perfect gear. It comes from trusting the systems that you are carrying with you. Once I understood that, preparation got a lot simpler because only a few things really matter. So the second thing that we can really do to help prepare and not have it feel overwhelming is focusing on the 4 pillars of what really matters. And the first pillar here is being ready physically. And I don't necessarily mean that that is being in some massive level of fitness or being exceptionally strong in some way. It's really about being familiar with your body and what your body is telling you. We've all felt tired before, and in some ways we've probably all been very fatigued. Maybe we've done 2-a-days when we were younger in high school or college, or with the different sports that we've played potentially in the past, or even just hiking, day hikes, or other things that have been challenging. We felt that tiredness, we felt that fatigue. And fatigue is not something that we should worry about. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong. It's something to get comfortable with, especially when you're on a trail for multiple days, multiple weeks, or maybe even multiple months. It's really about recognizing tiredness and fatigue and knowing that it is manageable. The second point here is really what we talked about earlier, and that's the systems of our gear, but that can also extend into how we pack our gear. What does that system look like? What is our system in terms of kind of how we hike through the day? What time do we wake up? How do we eat on the trail? What does breakfast look like? What does lunch look like? What does dinner look like? How do we get into camp? What are the first things that we pull out of our bag to set up? That's all system related. And when you're on a long trail or you're on a trail for a long time, you don't want to be incorporating new systems into that. You want the familiarity, the things that you could almost do from muscle memory without thinking about. So one way to make that more real in your life is get out on some shakedown hikes, whether that's just training hikes where you're gone for a couple of hours and you're doing some training because you got something available to you, or whether that is getting out on a couple of days adventure, doing a 20, 30, 40 miler in preparation for a longer trail that you're doing. But if you can do a 2 or 3 night trip, you're going to get these systems down a little bit. You're going to see how you're packing things, why you should pack it that way. Maybe you're learning, hey, I should probably put something else in a different place in my bag so it's more accessible. And you may start to learn what you like or don't like in terms of how you hike through on a trail or what food you've packed with you. So determine those systems, and usually that comes from practice. So the third piece of this, of what we can do, is what I would say is kind of pre-planning your decision-making process. Look at your decision framework ahead of time so that when you get out onto the trail, you're not feeling overwhelmed with decisions. So what does fatigue look like for you, and how are you going to manage that? What is enough for you in terms of what you're going to take with you, how much food you're going to eat on a daily basis, how many miles are you going to do that day? Look at what those limits are and understand the trade-offs that you'll have with them, because there's always a trade-off to every decision that we make. And if you can accept those trade-offs ahead of time through this planning process, then as you're out there on the trail, it'll make things significantly better. The more decisions that you can kind of filter through now, the easier it'll be on the trail, where you don't have to make decisions, you just execute on the plan. And the fourth pillar here is really about expectation setting and how you should think about that as you're planning and preparing. If you can kind of prepare mentally now, understanding that for a lot of a long distance hike or a thru hike, it's going to be kind of boring here and there. You're going to get through stretches of the trail that just aren't as pretty. They may be drier, or you might just be in a funk that day where nothing is really exciting and you're just going. And it might just be a day where I just need to make the miles and I'm just going to go. But if you can understand that and kind of mentally prepare for that now, you're going to set yourself up for success on the trail. And again, this is really in the planning process. You're not going to feel overwhelmed when you get to a section of a trail and you're wondering, what's it going to be like? What am I going to think about? How are we going to get to and from here? You've kind of set those expectations of what that boring middle might look like and knowing that it's going to exist. We're also going to separate a little bit mentally that discomfort does not equal danger. We're going to have a lot of discomfort on the trail. Hiking every day, your legs, your feet, your joints are probably not going to feel great. You may be hungry at times because you're not able to get in enough calories. It doesn't mean you're starving or that you're going to die. Mentally preparing and understanding that discomfort does not equal danger necessarily will be a big help as you get out there on the trail. So preparation doesn't remove hard moments, but what it does do is it helps remove the surprise when those things happen. So once I focused on preparing this way, kind of physically being ready, having systems in place, making a decision-making framework or having a decision-making framework beforehand, and setting mental expectations, it became clear to me how much time and energy I was wasting on things that just didn't matter. So what are those things that people worry about, that I worry about needlessly, that cause, again, this planning and preparation to feel overwhelming? I think one of the first things is just gear. We live in a consumer society where everybody is pitching gear and saying, this is the best, this is what you need, this is the best, this is what you need. And they pitch it, they market it in a way that if you don't have this specific piece of gear, or you don't have a base weight of a certain weight, you're wrong or you're going to fail. So gear is a big one that we fret over more than we really should. If you've got stuff that works, if you've tested it out and tried it out, good. Use it. You've probably created a system already. If there's a little bit of an upgrade that needs to be done, then don't make the massive change to the piece of gear, but just update the gear to the next iteration of it, if that's the case. Don't all of a sudden think because you watched, some ultralight person on YouTube that you're going to go from a blow-up mattress to a 1/8 inch close cell foam gossamer gear pad. It's probably not going to be right for you. Don't wholesale change gear because you feel like you need to do it. We fret too much over that. Another thing we fret too much about is the perfect plan. I fall victim to this. I've shared this in a couple of videos ago, that one, I feel like it needs to be perfect, and two, then I need to rigidly stick to that plan. Plans aren't going to be perfect. And if you are doing something that's a longer thru hike, it might honestly even be better to only plan the first few days or through the first town stop or for the first resupply, because you don't know what's going to happen after that. So don't fret about a perfect plan. There's a few things you need to plan out well, but also know, depending on the trail and the distance and the length of time you're out there, you can kind of be flexible from point to point or from section to section. We also have these imaginary standards that we create for ourselves, and some of that could be from comparison. Hey, I saw so-and-so do this trail in this amount of time, therefore I need to do it in that amount of time as well. Or so-and-so hikes this many miles a day, so I need to do that too. Hike your hike. Very common, very famous, and very appropriate phrase in the backpacking community. Hike your hike. Do you, and don't worry about what other people are doing or how they're doing it. They may have different goals, they may have different backgrounds, they may be able to do a lot more than what you or I may be capable of. So like most of the things that I worried about, they don't disappear. They just matter a lot less when you have a good system in place for planning. So how you know you're ready enough? There's a couple things here to talk about. One, your systems are tested, not necessarily optimized. You've done enough testing where you know that all of the systems in your gear, how you hike, your backpack, work, and there's still some improvement to make, but you've tested it out and you feel really comfortable with it. Two, fatigue feels familiar. So your body is now accustomed to feeling fatigued without all the alarm bells going off that you're in danger or that there's something wrong. Three, you trust how you'll make decisions. You've created a framework. You know how I will make a decision when the time comes, whether that's to stop short, whether that's to continue on, whether that's I need to take a break in town, but you trust in your decision-making process because you've grounded that in a framework. Four, you've accepted trade-offs. You understand that every decision has a trade-off to it, whether you go longer than you thought you should, whether you stop short than you thought you should, whether you take an extra day in town, everything kind of has a trade-off. And five, and kind of this last one, you're nervous, but you're not avoidant. We all get nervous before a hike. We all get a little anxious, and that's okay. Everybody does. So if you're feeling a little bit of nervousness, but it's not paralyzing you, then you're probably showing signals that you're ready and your plan is good. All right, friends. Well, look, that is the video for today. I know planning and preparation can feel overwhelming. I feel it myself, even after doing this a few times. And as we're getting into the early part of the year, January, where I am already excited and trying to start planning for my 2026 hiking adventures. So I know we're kind of in the midst of that now. Don't let that become overwhelming to you. Hopefully today's video was helpful in breaking down some of those things that cause us a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of stress in the planning and preparation phase. And look, at the end of the day, we're getting ready for a fun adventure of hiking, of being in the outdoors, maybe of completing a thru hike or a bucket list. So enjoy the process. Don't feel the pressure. Enjoy what you're doing and use some of the principles from today. We won't have a perfect plan, but if we can check most of these boxes, you don't need more preparation. You need permission to get started. And I think you got it from me. Look, I continue to make mistakes in my planning. I continue to make mistakes when I am on the trail. So if learning from my mistakes is helpful, let me point you towards the mistakes that I still and continue to make backpacking. And I'll link that video right here. And with that, friends, I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.